Good morning, good afternoon. In some parts of the world, good afternoon, good morning. Yes, we are live on every front, and that's what we want. It takes a while to coordinate all of these platforms, but getting better at it. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you're having a really good Sunday. All right, today is day 20, but this is day 19's message because yesterday was definitely a very hectic day for Dr. O. I had so much to do production-wise, and I wasn't able to go live yesterday. And of course, I had an event to host as well. So by the time we got done with all of our long days of activity, there was no chance I was coming on live because it was pretty late. I don't think anyone would have been up at about 12 midnight or so when I finally made it home. But that notwithstanding, today's episode or topic is excellence. And one of the things that I realized, that I really wanted to share yesterday was operating in the spirit of excellence and understanding that there's different levels, like there's levels to excellence. That's what I'm learning. Someone else's ideology or understanding or execution of excellence might not necessarily be what yours is. So let's be mindful of that, because the reality of the matter is I've learned over time that I have to sort of give grace to myself and give grace to others in that department, right? Because what I think is excellence for me might seem like a lot for somebody else. And that comes from the place of capacity building. How much of capacity have you built within yourself, within your system, within your organization for you to begin to move at certain levels of excellence? So there's levels to it. Everybody is not operating on the same frequency. Everyone's journey is different and everyone's capacity is different. So understanding, first of all, capacity building. You have to build your capacity. You have to be able to expand. Imagine trying to put a 10-liter content into a 1-liter bottle. It's not going to fit. It's just going to overwhelm the bottle. It's going to be wasted and it's just going to overflow and nobody's going to gain anything from that. So when I thought about it yesterday, just based on how my day went and the activities that I was performing in, as in the Holy Spirit just kept kind of teaching me and showing me and knowing me and be like, okay, fine, Dr. O, you have built your capacity so strong over the years. A lot of people see people like me or someone else on social media. And I can honestly tell you that there's certain people that I look at on social media without having to get close to them. And I'm like, oh my God, their life is so amazing. I bet I could do what they do. And then you get into their actual space, you get into proximity and you realize that, oh my goodness, there is no way I can possibly survive living the life that this person lives. There is no way I could actually manage to produce what it is they're producing. So that is where we have to be careful when it comes to trying to compare ourselves or trying to run someone else's race. And I'm not saying that excellence should not always be elevated as we're going along, your level of excellence and your standards should always be raised. Like you should be in constant pursuit of outdoing yourself, not outdoing it to show off to somebody else, not outdoing yourself just to put yourself under undue pressure, but outdoing yourself just to really raise the bar every single time. All right, so that is where excellence comes in. Moving with excellence, sometimes it's a lot of pressure. Like I wasn't able to bring this live to you. My desire would have been for me to show up on day 19 as I was supposed to show up at the right time. But I guess miscalculated on some days my schedule. And I believe that on those days, maybe one of the things I should have done in hindsight was pre-record the message and just distribute it later. That would have worked fine, right? It would have gone live at a specific time. The only kicker would have been I wouldn't have been able to be live on all platforms like I am right now. But at least I would have gone live on certain platforms that would have distributed my video. But I didn't even think to do that. And that is a level of operation that I haven't mastered yet. So even as much as I think I'm operating in excellence, I find that I'm still sort of falling short in some areas. And those are areas that I look at and be like, okay, next time I decide to do a challenge and it's going to go for an extended period of time, in order to factor in my lack of availability on certain days, which can happen. Life happens to the best of us, every single body. But you have to be able to understand that in order for you to show up in excellence, you have to be able to build the capacity to plan ahead and to factor in certain things, think about certain details that maybe somebody else might not. And that is where excellence comes in levels. And that's why today I chose this topic to talk about living in excellence based on, just your capacity building, being able to build enough capacity for you to not only move in excellence, but to be able to understand what level you're on and to operate very well on that level. Don't try to move in the excellence. Hey, my ladies, how are you, everyone? Happy Sunday. Today, we're talking about moving in excellence and how we all move in excellence differently. Your level of excellence is so different from mine. And for me, over time, I've had issues with wondering why are you not moving quickly enough? Why are you moving so slow? Why aren't you doing this the way I would do it? Why are you not thinking the way I am thinking? That is such a wrong approach because every single person is different. Your level of excellence is definitely going to be different from my definition or my level of excellence. So understanding what your capacity is at the time and understanding how you move and operate and adjusting yourself accordingly really helps us perform optimally at the level that we have the capacity to operate. Not that we're now trying to stretch ourselves beyond our capacity. And now that does not stop you from getting better. That does not stop you from elevating. That does not stop you from improving your processes. And that does not stop you from praying and asking for God to help expand your capacity to do more. But while you're on your way getting there, try to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, you are always doing it with a spirit of excellence. Now, a good life example is you have a business that you're operating as a mobile business, right? You don't have a brick and mortar. You just get to go visit your clients from time to time as they call. Try to do that very well, because when you do have a brick and mortar, then you can actually take that level of excellence and incorporate it into this new system that you're operating and then take it up a notch. But if you don't operate at excellence at a beginner level, you're never going to operate at excellence when you get to the mastery, or at least when you begin to progress in life. To whom much is given, much is required. And that is where I realized in this 21-day challenge, one of the things that I really am learning really hard is showing up with excellence all the time. And that's why I was like, okay, day 19's message is excellence, but this is the day when I'm really not feeling excellent today. How am I supposed to share this? But that was the reason why I needed to share that, because I felt like I really didn't show up in excellence because I did not plan my time properly enough or plan ahead enough to be able to incorporate this life into my yesterday schedule. If I had been a little bit more conscientious with my thinking, my time, my planning, yes, I would have been able to fully show up and do everything that I needed to do for this challenge. But anyway, it's coming to an end, and I'm really glad and excited that so many lessons learned, so many things I've been able to share in 21 days. We have 2 more days. Today is day 19 on day 20. Day 20's message is loading because I'm going to be coming live again later this evening to talk about today's message. But I just wanted to come on live real quickly this morning to summarize my day 19, which is learning how to move in excellence at every level of operation within the capacity. Thank you, Shirama Boutique. I really appreciate you. Always showing a lot of love. I appreciate you. Thanks for supporting Dr. OJ Speaks. And learning how to move with excellence within the capacity that you have at the time. There's no excuse. You can't say, I have one customer, I'm not going to move in excellence. You don't have to wait, or you're not supposed to wait till you have 100. And that's when you want to finesse your level of excellence and standards. No, your standards are set. Now, for example, I had an event that I was hosting yesterday. And of course, as always, I get a great feedback. And the reality of the matter is the audience yesterday was not as much or as big as the audience that I had previous weekend. That means 2 weeks ago. But I'm like, look, regardless of who is in this room, whether there's 5, 10, 20, 100, 200, 500 people, I have promised myself that when I show up and the mic is in my hands, I am going to give it my 100%, in fact, 110% all the time. It's always going to be Dr. O 3.0. People are always going to be wowed by me, and they're always going to be really grateful for the level of value that I bring at all times. And then I was like, yeah, showing up excellently in that arena is great, but I also have to take that same level of excellence to every single area of my life. That means in me planning and following through with what I say I'm going to do for myself, I have to do it with excellence. If that means me planning ahead of time, making some accommodations to ensure that my plan, my goals are met, that's what I have to do. That is what it truly means to show up in excellence. Understanding the capacity that you're operating with and being able to ensure that at that capacity, excellence is always the standard. It's never going to be anything short of excellence. Whether you get to do more, of course, to whom much is given, much is more, not much. To whom much is given, I understand this now, more is always required. So you think that when you have much is no. It's always whatever you're given, there's a whole lot more that is required of you to do for you to keep elevating in life. So excellence should always be the watchword. All right, y'all, my lovelies, my beautiful people, my village fams, my support, my family on social media, on YouTube, Facebook, Insta fam, LinkedIn. Let me see, did I miss anybody? YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere that you're watching me this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I just want to say thank you. Don't forget, let's go out this week and operate in the spirit of excellence. And as we are like just giving life and growing, this is something that we need to incorporate into ourselves. This should be a daily habit. Like one of the things that I teach myself and I've taught my kids and I'm still teaching them is when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do after you say your prayers is make your bed. Make your bed. Operate in that level of excellence, first of all. And then let's see how you do the rest of the day. Okay? How about that? So that's just one nugget there. When you get up, make your bed. Try to operate that with excellence and then see how you develop more habits, build more capacity to do more. Because if you cannot operate in excellence in the little mundane things, the things that don't even matter, the things that nobody gets to see you do. You know, some people, they operate in such excellence on the exterior. You see them outside, they look like, oh my goodness, this person is amazing. Then you get into their personal space, it is so chaotic. Madam Celebrity, Madam Superstar, Mr. CEO, your environment so dirty, so unkept. You yourself personally, you don't even take care of yourself. And then out there, you're like this big shot. But indoors, where nobody gets to see, it's a whole big pile of rubbish. That for me is a contradiction. That for me is not excellence at all. Because if you cannot be excellent in your own personal world, be Lord over yourself, lead yourself with excellence, and then you want to get out there and lead people, and you want to get out there and tell people you're a leader and you're this and you're that, I'm sorry. That's a whole contradiction. And that's where excellence comes in. And that's one of the things that the Holy Spirit dropped on my heart yesterday. As I was going through my day, I had so much to do, but I missed out. And I think I've missed out on a couple of days. And after yesterday's missing out, I was like, okay, what could I do better? Next time I have a challenge like this, what are some things that I need to fine tune to ensure that I show up when I say I'm going to show up, regardless of what the situation, because we all have 24 hours in a day. And we all have absolute control over how we allocate our time. So if I'm not allocating my time properly, that's on me. It's not on the fact that all these things are put on my plate, because guess what? I went through the buffet line. I agreed to all of those commitments. I put them on my plate and I agreed to put it on my schedule for yesterday and those other days. Granted, there are times when things will pop up, right, that you didn't plan for, except for those moments that it's absolutely out of your control, because of course, you know, we can't 100% control everything. You should always strive for what we call the spirit of excellence. That's how God moves. He moves with excellence. And you know, one of the things that I learned is, and you know, someone brought it to my reality that Jesus never had the choice, or he never had a situation where he was rushed, or he just had to run like, oh my God, this is happening. Let me go put out this fire. Or, oh my God, I need to go. No. No matter what the situation was, no matter how bad you thought it felt, your emergency, God is never, ever in a state of emergency. But he always delivered on his promise. And he's still doing the same today. He's still delivering on his promise. He's still a God of excellence. He's still a God of order. He's still a God of perfect timing. And we need to kind of pursue in that light, right? As children of God. Excuse me. All right, guys, that's all I have for you for now. You know, guys, my name is Dr. OJ, the Med Spa professor. I really appreciate it. I love you guys. Thank you, Shirama. I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. It's been an amazing Sunday, and I will be back again later this evening for day 20. We're almost done with our 21 days challenge, and then we're going to go full swing into some other stuff that we need to start doing on the social streets. But definitely make sure you tap in with me on all social media platforms. I don't really say this after my lives, but today I feel the need to do that. Go connect with me, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dr. OJ Speaks, and follow me on all social media. All of my social media is Dr. OJ Speaks. Every single one has the same handle. I've sort of modified it that way, right? That's the spirit of excellence showing up. Every social media platform has the same profile picture. Every social media platform has the same banner. So we have coordinated this so well this year. Like, we are moving and showing up on the streets with excellence, and that is within and without. We're trying to do it within so that it reflects on the outside, so we don't come out on these streets and tell people what to do while we're not doing the same thing. We are trying to show up with excellence. And by me, I mean me, myself, and I, my village people, all of us in here, and of course my team behind the scenes that help me. But we are trying to move with excellence. So we tell you to do something, you best believe that we are also doing it. We're learning hard lessons from God. He's teaching us to grow and to kind of elevate, and we want to pass this on, and that's why we're doing this. All right, see you later. It's day 19, moving the spirit of excellence here, and you know I love you. Bye. Mwah. Bye, guys. Our music is not moving in excellence, so we're not going to play it. This whole system is something else. All right, y'all, have a good night. Well, have a good day. I'll be back later.